Are you afraid of the dark? Or do you remember when you used to be? I remember when I used to be. I was a little kid going to my room, going to sleep, and wondering what lurked maybe underneath my bed. Maybe I'd look under there and see a set of glowing eyes. Maybe the closet was slightly open with a little crack. Whatever type of ghoul or goblin to come out and get me. I remember those days. But now, things are much different. Before I get into this, if you've never been here before, my name is Brandon Alexander. I'm almost 40. And I spent the last 20 years with a PhD in tacos, beer, junk food, and literally zero self-control. Now, I'm literally walking on the path to become the best version of me I can be, and I'd love to take you along for the ride. I want to tell you a couple of stories about situations with the dark and how I overcame them, and some of the things that I recalled from my childhood to help me do so. So last year, I was in Thailand around my birthday, a town called Pattaya. It's a beach city, beautiful place, and I would go for my morning walks there. Well, it's a lot of stray dogs in Pattaya, and most of them were friendly, but some of them can be aggressive because sometimes they're just not treated right. So I was on a morning walk. I think I was going for 15 or 20 miles that morning, and I was walking by some businesses. Imagine a very wide road, maybe 3 or 4 lanes on each side, and down the alleyways, when you pass between the buildings, it's dark. I remember hearing footsteps, not footsteps, but paw steps with nails kind of tapping on the floor, kind of with a scratching sound, how dogs sound when they're running. And I noticed there were 3 large dogs behind me. Now, this brought me back to a time in my childhood where I was afraid of dogs. I didn't know how it worked. I didn't know that they could sense fear, that they could tell when you were not coming from a place of authority, and they would act on that. They would chase you because you would run. You would whimper or scream or yell for help, and they would know you were vulnerable. In this situation, I had a couple things on my side. I had watched Cesar Millan on The Dog Whisperer for many, many years, off and on, not religiously, but I knew that if I asserted dominance with a firm, loud voice and a certain posture, that these dogs would retreat, and that's exactly what I did. Now, I let out a loud, authoritative voice. I'm not going to do it right now. It is 4 a.m. I'm respectful of the people's places that I walk by. That's always why I talk in such a low tone. But when I turned around, I backed these dogs down, and they ran off. There were 3 of them to me. What am I getting at here? Situational awareness is key in any situation of life that you're going through. A lot of people walk through life, especially nowadays, looking down, not looking around at their surroundings, looking down at a $1,000 to $1,500 phone, not realizing that someone could come up and snatch it and run off, and they would just be out of their stuff. This is one of the things, situational awareness, that allows me to walk around in the dark, because I'm always aware of my surroundings, even as I record these videos. You'll see I look around a lot, and the main reason is I'm making sure that I'm safe, that no one is trying to approach me, and then I can keep recording these videos and keep showing up every single day. I had another instance in Raleigh earlier this year, just about a month and a half ago, where I was walking down a road just like this. It's more lined with trees on both sides and no buildings. There was a man that appeared in the distance. It was still warm. He didn't have a shirt. It's about 3:45 in the morning. And as he walked toward me, I could see it looked like he was looking through me, which, in my opinion, isn't the greatest sign. That typically means that someone is on some type of substances, and who knows what they're actually experiencing. I could have 4 heads to him. That was where I made sure I gave myself 1 or 2 paces in between him and I, so if he lunged toward me, I could easily escape. One of the things that I did as a child, my parents signed my brother and I up for Taekwondo. It's more of a defensive martial art, and I think that discipline taught us a lot about situational awareness and how if we might find ourselves in a certain unfavorable situation, we could take care of ourselves. Back to the man in Raleigh. As I passed him, I stepped off a couple paces and I kept my eyes on him. Eventually I turned around and I noticed he was looking at me. I checked forward, I looked back, he was looking at me. Now, while I'm sure he was on some type of substance, he also likely thought I was a mark to maybe rob or beat up on, but I made sure I stood my ground. And that only comes from the confidence that you get from knowing you can defend yourself. I think one of the best things, especially nowadays with online bullying and bullying at schools and kids that are like, it saddens me to know that there are shooting drills now. Like, one of my favorite things was a fire drill or an earthquake drill. That meant we got to crawl around a little bit, get out of class for a few minutes. You know, never experienced a fire at school, never experienced an earthquake at school, but we were ready for it. But now kids have to prepare for shooters. Kids have to prepare for other kids with knives. And I think it's more important now than ever to teach your children about situational awareness and how to be ready in a situation just in case something goes off. Because at that time, if all they can rely on is what they saw on their iPad yesterday, they're going to be in a very bad situation. They might not make it out of there, unfortunately. And it's a sad reality, but it is absolutely true. One of the best things my parents did was made sure that we took these martial arts classes and developed these disciplines that have literally carried on to right now. Today is my 154th day in a row of walking 24,000 steps. I started getting up at 3 a.m. at the beginning of the year, January 1st. I've done it every single day since then. It all comes off of the discipline that we put in as kids. The idea of showing up for these martial arts classes and completing these same forms over and over and over again until we couldn't get them wrong. The sparring, the board breaking, it all built up a different type of understanding for discipline to the point where we loved to do it. It was something that was extremely enjoyable, knowing that we could get better and better, and we could see that as young kids. If you care about your kids, which I'm sure you do, make sure they've got some situational awareness, please. In today's world, you might not make it out without it. Now, I am extremely grateful for my upbringing. I'm seeing changes every single day just by showing up and practicing the form of walking, the definition I see in my legs, the fat that's shedding off my body, the unwanted fat that lived there for so long. I had a different discipline before. I had the discipline to consume things that weren't good for me. I had the discipline to give in to people and situations that did not serve me over and over and over again. I finally had the wherewithal to quit those things, to build a new discipline, to start to walk toward the best possible version of myself every single day. No matter what. I'm not feeling the greatest right now. Doesn't matter. I'm going to show up. I can rest later. I did go to sleep earlier last night. But this right here is a non-negotiable. As long as I have legs, I'm walking. Because it is a gift that not everybody has. And it is a gift that a lot of people take for granted. You won't see that out of me. There's people here on this platform that need to see someone that does something for themselves on a daily basis. I'm going to be that guy. Whether people like it or not, there are people that need to see some type of consistency, that have seen so much change in a negative way in their life, that they just need to see someone, an example of someone that shows up for themselves. I'd love to be that person. I'd love for you to join me on this journey. I'd love for us to be able to grow together, get better together, because life is truly about community. We've gotten away from it. We think that we're connected digitally through social media, but we're not in the way that it was intended. Technology is great. I love it. But the connection between us, unfortunately, has been severed. The physical connection, the one where we share ideas and goals. And if you're looking for someone that's on the path, I got you covered. I'll be here for you every day, no matter what the weather, no matter how I'm feeling. I made a commitment to this. I want to show you what discipline looks like. I want to show you the results of what it looks like when you show up for yourself. When you do finally see my before and after picture, you'll be shocked, you'll be amazed, as will I. But you're also seeing me every day along the journey, so you might not be shocked. You might see the changes that I don't even see, and that's great too. But I want you to know that if you begin a discipline for yourself, no matter what it is, and you show up for it every single day, I'm gonna let you know, I know from doing it, there's no way you can fail. There doesn't need to be anyone along the journey with you. Like, no one No one has to walk with you. There's no one out here. There's no one out here. People are headed to work in their cars. People are heading home. There's no one out here. And that is okay. The majority of improvement that we have in our lives is done in the dark. And for me, it is literally done in the dark. I prefer these times because this is time that I can talk to you. I can provide some value. I can provide some insight, and we can grow together. I love that for us. And I think it's a great situation for us to both be in. So if you found any value in this video, I'd like you to leave the 2 words "show up" in the comment section. Let me know how you're going to show up for yourself. Let me know what you're going to change before the new year, what you're going to change today or tomorrow, and not wait for permission from anyone else and get it done. I'd like to thank you for watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye for now.